them asked me questions of all kinds. Several questions were repeated over and over again. They asked me if I was an employee of NewsClick. I said, no, I'm not an employee of NewsClick. I'm only a consultant. They asked me how much money I had got. So I said, you have all my bank account details. Please check them out. Every single paisa I've got, I've raised invoices and they've given it to my bank account. So I later on realized what was happening. I later on realized that never before in the history of the capital of India have the police, literally hundreds of policemen, visited the homes of over 40 journalists and some non-journalists as well. There were activists and political activists and academics, and they all were asked to go there. Several people, their mobile phones were kept with the Delhi police. Some of them, the SIM cards were returned, but not the main mobile instruments. I was among the lucky few because they returned my mobile as well as my the SIM card after they took all the data out in my presence. Okay, now the questions they asked me, they asked the same set of questions over and over again. But some of the questions they asked me, I was quite taken aback. They said, have you spoken to the US to one Mr. S. Bhatnagar? I said, yes, I have. He happens to be my brother-in-law. So yes, I have spoken with him. Then they asked me, do you use Signal? I said, yes, I use Signal. They asked me, have you covered the Delhi riots? I said, no. Then somebody else asked me, have you covered the farmers' agitation? I said, yes, I have. So they asked me all kinds of questions. They asked me whether I knew Neville Roy Singham. I said, no, I don't know him. So they were very, very cordial with me. They offered me tea and coffee about 50 times. And they said I can eat some food. They said, "Aap kya chahte hai, puri chola ya puri bhaji?" So they were very, very decent and well behaved. And I just hope they are equally well behaved now that Prabir Purokastha, the head of NewsClick, and who is being remanded to. Okay, all right. All these guys are here. I'll finish it and I'll go up. Yeah. So Prabir Purokastha is 75 years old. He has been remanded to police custody now for a week. With him is one of his colleagues. His name is Amit Chakraborty. He was handling the human resources in NewsClick, and he is physically challenged. But I just hope that they treat them as nicely, as well, as politely as they treated me. Now, I have not been able to figure out, I mean, the first information report, which was lodged in the middle of August, has not been shown. All we know that the sections of the UAPA, the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, are sections which deal with financing of terror. So I'm quite mystified and puzzled. Let us assume what the New York Times has said is correct. But the question would be, where does terror money come into all this? I'm not able to understand. Maybe the courts of this country will be able to understand. So I don't think ever in the city have so many journalists been rounded up together. Whether you want to call them questioned, whether you want to call them interrogated, whether you want to call the presence of police persons in their home at 6:30 in the morning as raids, these are all definitions. All they kept saying that, we are we are conducting investigations, so please cooperate with the investigation, and that included submitting your mobile phone and your laptop, and that also includes that you've given them the password. If your phone has a key, then you give them the password. So this is where I come from, and I think the message is coming very, very clearly. It's coming to every single journalist, every single independent journalist. What has happened yesterday, in my opinion, will have a chilling effect on independent journalism in this country. So this is, I believe, what is happening, and I do see this as a black day for the press, for the media in India. So this is all really I want to say, और आप लोगों को मैं एक ही बात हिंदी में कहना चाहता हूँ कि कल सुबह 6:30 बजे 9 पुलिस डिपार्टमेंट के लोग हमारे घर पे पहुंचे 6:30 बजे सुबह, और हमें बहुत सारे सवाल उठाया न्यूज़ क्लिक के बारे में। भी सवाल उठाया कि yeah, I'll have to go there and speak. I can't do anything about this. So ये भी उन्होंने सवाल उठाया कि आप इनको पहचानते हैं, इनको पहचानते हैं, आप नेविल रॉय सिंघम को पहचानते हैं कि नहीं। मैंने कहा नहीं, मैं नेविल रॉय सिंघम को नहीं पहचानता हूँ। और इनका पैसा कहाँ से आया, तो मैंने बोला कि मैं न्यूज़ क्लिक के साथ मैं सलाहकार हूँ, मैं एम्प्लॉई नहीं हूँ, मैं नौकरी नहीं करता हूँ न्यूज़ क्लिक में, और मई 2018 से मैं काम कर रहा हूँ, और जो भी हमें पैसा देता है, रेम्यूनरेशन देते हैं, सारे मेरा बैंक का खाता में आ जाता है सीधा। मैं इनवॉइस देता हूँ और वो इनवॉइस सीधा मेरा बैंक का खाता में पहुँच जाते हैं। और आपके साथ आयकर विभाग है, आपके पास बैंक है, ये मेरा बैंक का खाता का नंबर है, आप खुद चेक कर लीजिए। और मैं सोचा कि बहुत अजीब सवाल उठाया। एक सवाल था कि आप क्या अमेरिका में एस भटनागर से बात किया? बोला हाँ, एस भटनागर मेरा बीवी का भाई है, ही इज माई ब्रदर इन लॉ। और इस तरह से बहुत सारे सवाल हमें उठाया, हमसे पूछा कि आपने सिग्नल का इस्तेमाल किया? बोला हाँ, मैं सिग्नल का इस्तेमाल किया। हमें कहा कि आपने दिल्ली में जो हिंदू मुस्लिम जो राइट हुई थी, जो दंगा हुई थी, आप इसका रिपोर्ट किया? मैंने नहीं किया। मगर आपने बोला कि किसान आंदोलन के बारे में आपने कुछ लिखा था? तो मैंने बोला हाँ, मैंने लिखा, मैंने वीडियो बनाया। और इस ऐसे बहुत सारे सवाल उठा, मेरे से बहुत अच्छा व्यवहार।